My new one-to-one client did one single 10-minute task in their business last week that added an extra $1,000 for them in the next few days. And I'm gonna share with you today what that is and how you can build this out yourself. And the best thing about this is not a one-off. This is not capped at this $1,000 that they've just made. This is something they've set in place that will continue to pay them. So we're gonna be talking today about this specific sales pathway piece that you can add in to actually continue bringing in sales and clients for you, even after you've completed it just once. Because it's all well and good telling you a sales action to do today that you're then gonna need to do tomorrow, and then you need to do the next day, and then we need to do next week as well. But this is something that is one and done. You can put this in place in your business and instantly start seeing results from it. And also you'll be seeing results from this in 3 months' time as well. So today I wanna talk about setting up an automatic upsell off the back of your low ticket offer, which you already have in place. This is something most people either aren't doing because we haven't just gotten around to it, or we'll do it manually each time, or we've done it, but it's not really converting, it's not really getting sales. And I want to share with you today the story of how my client set up this and put in that upsell off of the back of a low ticket offer. And in the next few days, they made $1,000 just from having this in place. And they are continuing to see sales from this ever since as well. And this is one of those things that is kind of a smaller, obvious thing, right? But so many of us don't have it in place because there's that low ticket offer we put together last minute, we hadn't really gotten around to doing an upsell, or we did an upsell, but we kind of half-assed it and it's not really working well and it's not really converting for us. But if you can really have this in place, it means that we're not having a dead end at the end of your low ticket offers. Your low ticket offers can actually lead into something and actually lead into an offer for you. We're gonna be talking today about what that offer actually is, what's going to work really well going from your low ticket offer, and then exactly what you're going to do. I'm literally gonna give you the full outline of this 10-minute task, and then I want you to go away and do this. So you're probably in one of 3 camps right now. Camp number 1, you have a low ticket offer that you have been upselling off of the back of, but you're really doing it manually, and it's requiring you to go in and pitch to people. It's requiring you to go out and reach people every single time you host this low ticket event, maybe it is, or there's calls. Every single time you're doing it, you're manually going in and upselling people. And that's great, right? Like, it kind of works, but we're spending a lot of time doing this and we don't need to be spending time doing this. If we can actually set up something that's automatic, which automatically upsells people, it takes a lot of work off your plate, and we can make sure we're actually getting it right and being strategic every single time as well. Or the second camp, you may already have an upsell set up, but it's not really converting. You occasionally get some people coming through this, but you're not really getting amazing results from that, and you know you can really improve this. Or the third camp, you might have no upsell whatsoever, and that is nothing to be ashamed of at all. As solopreneurs, we are very, very busy, right? And I think it's so easy to miss these small things and miss these small opportunities to make extra sales. And this is what I really wanted to talk about in essentially this mini series of what are some really simple sales pathways for you that you can put into place and fix immediately, not just as a one-off sales action that, you're gonna have to continue doing every single day, but something you can do and it's one and done. This is gonna be set up for you. And once this is set up, this continues paying you for weeks and months after this. So now that we know this is maybe a bit of a sales leak for you, how do we actually fix this? We want to make sure we are having something automatic going out, which is upselling people to some other offer of yours. We want this to be automatic. We want this to be really simple. I would suggest doing a 3-part email sequence, which is going out a week after you have given them this offer. So a week after they've received this low ticket offer, they are receiving 3 emails, 1 each day from you, which are upselling them to this specific offer. Again, we're going to talk in a second about what these emails can include, what this would look like, what I've seen work really well across my clients. But firstly, what are we upselling? Because this is a huge piece. And this is where I see a lot of people struggling if they're in that camp of, I have an upsell, but it's not really upselling people. I'm not really getting people jumping into this. And I'm, occasionally making some sales, but it doesn't feel like a predictable, consistent flow of people coming through this. So when we're talking about a low ticket offer, I'm assuming you have something in mind, which could be anything from $10 to $100, $200, somewhere around that kind of price point. Something which is low ticket, which sometimes might be passive. It might be a challenge you've done. It might be an event, mini offer, whatever it is for you. We want to have this in mind as you're going through this. So have in mind one that you have, which you're really wanting to work on the upsell for. Now we need to think about, okay, what is going to be an actual upsell from that? And it's probably not your high ticket offer. I know a lot of people will think, okay, great, I have this and I want it to lead towards my high ticket offer. So of course, off the back of this, 10-day challenge, I'm going to sell my high ticket offer. Most people probably aren't going to jump into that because again, it's a 10-day challenge. It was $50. Are we necessarily then going to pay $10K for the high ticket program it doesn't feel quite as natural. Again, you're probably gonna have some people jump in through this, but it's not gonna be something which is really consistently bringing you clients, which is what we actually want. So what we want here is a bit of a smaller step. We kind of wanna create something in between. I would really recommend for a low ticket offer, doing either an audit, do an intensive with you, so one-to-one, or doing a bundle of different offers that you have. These can work really well. And again, depending on what your low ticket offer is, you might find that one is a really natural fit, but essentially we want something which feels like that slight smaller step up. It's a little bit more expensive, but it's not necessarily the 10K one-to-one program that we're going for yet. And yes, the goal is absolutely to sell the 10K one-to-one program, but having this small step in between means we're actually moving people. People are actually going somewhere, versus if we just promoted the 10K straight away, then actually a lot of people aren't going to jump into that. So we're kind of losing a huge majority of people, versus actually if we can get 3 times more people jumping into an intensive with you, and then off the back of the intensive, you're able to really personally invite them into this one-to-one program, it makes it really easy for you to get clients from that low ticket offer. We just needed that middle piece to make it easier for people to make that step. And here's the important point before you click away and say, I'm gonna run with that and I'm just gonna do an intensive and throw that out and brilliant, problem solved. Yes, the price point needs to be correct, but we also need to think about something else, which is equally, if not more important, and that is actually the positioning of this offer. Because if you were just to throw out, okay, we have this 10-day challenge, for example, and you can do an intensive with me after, you can book in a 2-hour intensive and we're gonna work together on this intensive. If you were just to share that, it doesn't really pull people forward necessarily. It doesn't move them into actually wanting to do this intensive, versus it's really nice knowing that there's this pathway, knowing people are coming from this low ticket offer. We already know the positioning and messaging of this low ticket offer. You have some information about this person already. Even if we know, again, this is going to be automated, this is going to be something which is going out to everyone who's signed up for this thing. So we can't have these personal components of, hey, this would be a really great fit for you. But we do know some things about them. And we forget this so easily because automating something doesn't need to mean that we are just taking all of the personal side out of it. And we are making this just a really generic pitch because we know that the generalities are not going to be working for you. So if we know we want to be specific, if we want to actually give them a really damn good pitch, take what you already know about this person. You know that if they've jumped into this low ticket offer, which is a 10-day challenge for working on their mindset, we know they're wanting to work on their mindset. We know some specific things. If we were talking about imposter syndrome specifically, we know they're wanting to work on imposter syndrome. So can we actually use that in the messaging and positioning of that next step for them, of that upsell, to make it a really easy yes? So for example, if you're doing a 10-day challenge talking about imposter syndrome, okay, great. The intensive is going to be, let's work through your imposter syndrome blocks specifically, because you know you have some of them. This has probably helped to clear some of those, but let's really bust through these beliefs one-to-one together on an intensive. That lands completely differently than just selling work with me on an intensive and you can schedule an intensive here. So with this, I want you to get so specific with this upsell. And again, this is where this is going to work. This is not just going to be an upsell put in place for the sake of having an upsell that then doesn't actually lead to anything. We want this to actually convert. We want this to be successful. So we're going to set it up for success. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to make this really specific. Tell them what we're going to do inside this intensive, what we're going to do inside this audit together. Make it really specific, really paint a picture of what we're going to be working on together, why they should sign up for this, and why this is going to help them with the problem that they'll now have after they've done your 10-day challenge, for example. Now, with the specific client story of the client who did this 10-minute task and then added an extra 1K to their income over the next week, they had specifically added from their low ticket calls a bundle upgrade. So they'd added an upgrade where essentially someone can get the bundle of all of the courses they have and say, hey, you have one piece of the puzzle right now. Why don't you get the whole set essentially? Why don't we get the whole process along here? And they really position this as right now you have, this one area, but that's not enough alone to really work on this whole area for you of what they work on with their clients. So let's get the bundle. Let's do the whole thing. So you have everything you need and you can go through it at your own pace for the entire process of this. And that converted so beautifully. Again, this led to 1K in upsells just from this course sales over the last week. So now that we've really taken a look at and got really intentional with what are we actually going to be upselling from this low ticket offer, what is the task actually going to be? What is your 10-minute homework for today? So I want you to take that upsell, again, get really intentional with this, get really specific with that messaging, and I want you to create a 3-part email sequence, which is going to be sent to your clients 1 week after they make this low ticket purchase. So automatically it's sent to them. You don't even need to think about anything here. But 1 week after they have signed up for this offer with you, they will start receiving these 3 emails, which are sending them towards the upsell. Now, what do we actually talk about in these emails? Again, I'm going to make this so simple for you. I want you to really focus on bridging the gap between the low ticket offer and between the upsell, because there is a bit of a gap between them. For example, again, if they have finished this 10-day challenge with you, we've been talking all about imposter syndrome, they're starting to really realize that imposter syndrome is kind of their biggest issue right now and how much it's been keeping them stuck. And they're making some connections from this challenge. They've been showing up, it's been pushing their edges. They're feeling kind of good about it, but it's feeling a little bit edgy still. That's probably where they're at the end of this 10-day challenge. We have a gap to bridge between this and signing up for an intensive one-to-one to bust through some blocks here. So really, what is this gap for this person right now of what do they need to know, what do they need to understand, what value do they need to see inside of this intensive upsell for them to jump into it and for it to be an easy yes for them. A great, really simple structure that you can use for these 3-part email sequences. The first one, really introducing the offer and sharing why this is going to be so helpful after this low ticket offer. Specifically, after you've gone through the 10-day challenge, why the intensive? Why is this going to be so good for you? Specifically, after you've just completed this challenge, what value is this going to add to you? Additionally, on top of everything you've already gotten. So that's the first email. Second email, do a client story or your own story, sharing about how going through an intensive like this and going through the process you're about to walk them through in this intensive is completely transformational. Why this is going to be the thing which really unlocks something for them. And the third email is really just hammering this home. It's letting them know, hey, your offer is going to be expiring. It's letting them know exactly all the details again. It's letting them know why, again, in a few sentences, is this going to be so transformational for them, adding this to their cart. If you're a busy solopreneur, if you are a mom, if you love to travel, whatever it is in your life, or if you just like having a life, to be honest, and you really want more of a lifestyle first business, this is what we want to be focusing on. Not just sales in terms of go and show up and sell a thing today, but how can I set something in place today that's going to be making me sales, not just today, but next week, next month, and in 3 months' time as well. And this is exactly what I'm going to be going through with you inside of my sales challenge. I will put the link in the description for you to check this out. We are starting very soon. I would love for you to join us. We are going to be giving you a 10-minute action every single day that is going to be something that is going to fix something within your business where there is currently a sales leak. We are going to be setting something in place which is going to make you sales forever, not just today. So by the end of this challenge, you will have made some really simple but really intentional tweaks to set your business up for making more sales, keeping more clients inside of your business, and having more upsells just really naturally built into everything you do. This is truly such a game changer, as you can see from the title of this video, and these are the kind of actions we're going to be going through where my clients have literally taken these tasks and made an extra 1K in the week just from putting this into place, let alone the return that this has had over the next few years for them. So again, you can go to the link in the description to join us inside of this challenge. I would love to have you there. I will see you inside of there. Thank you so much for watching this video. Again, make sure you go to the link in the description to sign up for the sales challenge, and I'll see you there.